welcome to Okaloosa County's Mentor Training. We're so glad that you are here to join us for this video. My name is Heather McClaren, and I work at an elementary school in Okaloosa County as the mentor coordinator for my school. Each school in Okaloosa County has a mentor coordinator. Just call any kindergarten through 12th grade school to get started as a mentor and ask for the mentor coordinator. The names, addresses, and phone numbers are available on our county website. Our wonderful guest today is a longtime mentor, Chris Rollins. She has a lot of mentoring experience that she will be sharing today with you. A few housekeeping items we have an online volunteer form that you'll need to fill out to be as an approved mentor. This is a yearly requirement. One time only, you're required to complete mentor training, which is this lovely video. You're required to get fingerprinted, but it's no cost to you at all. This will be good for 5 years. Mentors come for only 30 minutes once a week to their school, and you get to choose the school that you want to mentor at. Many new mentors in training ask me a few questions, so I'm going to go over some of those answers. One question is, why does a student need a mentor? Students need a mentor for many reasons. Maybe they need a role model. Maybe they need someone to talk to because they've had some changes in their home life. They need someone to help them with their schoolwork, and they might need help setting goals for academic reasons or behavioral reasons. You're able to speak with the school's mentor coordinator to let them know which type of student, which type of mentee that you would like to help. Students are also selected to have a mentor, and these can be referrals from possibly a school counselor, an administrator, a teacher at the school. A student could benefit from having a mentor. A parent will sign a consent to give permission for their child to receive a mentor. The mentoring coordinators will match a mentee with you. You'll be the mentor. So that leads us to Chris. She's going to talk about why we need mentors.
Why mentoring? The first part of mentoring is the letter M, and to me that is making memories. Mentoring will do that. Every day is a new experience. You'll find that out. But it's also very magical in the sense that it's you and a child. And that relationship, it's like you are actually touching the future and affecting this person. So M is for memories and magical experience. E is for enjoyment. I love it. I go every week and I make sure that I connect with the teacher, and we select a day and a time that works for her and works for me. And I just go and sign into the school and go pick up my student, and we go off. And there's various places you can go. You can go on a bench on campus or to the library. And we do all sorts of things. It's also extra practice, E for extra practice, because a lot of times I work with kindergarten and first grade students. They need some help with the pre-reading skills, and they just haven't had a lot of experience with the alphabet or learning the sounds of words and how to sound them out. So that's what I spend a lot of my time doing, is working with that. N is for me, it's new every day. Every time I come on campus, my student can have had a good week or not so good week, and that's probably one of the first things we talk about. But it's new every day, and I think that's kind of exciting because I never know what to expect or what they're going to say, and a lot of times they have a lot to tell you, which brings me to the letter T in mentoring, which is talking. And talking is one of the most important things. I always say to the children, let's go have some conversation as we walk to your class or as we walk back to class. And we will talk about everything from their family to how they feel about how they're doing in school to what they really like or what are they hoping to get for Christmas. All those things are important to them. But it's also what you give them with the letter T is time. And time today is precious. In your own family, I'm sure you know that whenever you have time or take time to do something, you try to make it special. And that's what this is. Mentoring is it's 30 minutes of special time with one student. The letter O in mentoring is opportunity. It's often that we have opportunities to do things in life. I'm retired, and to me, I couldn't do this when I was working. Now, some of you can and had a flexible schedule, but I did not. But the thing I love about it is now that I am retired, I have time to do this. And there's so many people that could be involved in this, and I wish they would come, because this opportunity to work with a child is just touching the future for just a nanosecond every week. The letter R is this realization that you are a very important person. You are a VIP. When you step on that campus, everybody knows you as you go day to day, week to week. The kids know you, and when you walk into that classroom, the kids will say, all the kids want to go with you. They don't know what you're doing, but they just want to go because there's that one-on-one time that is so special. Also, for me, mentoring is I for inspiration. To me, I have an opportunity to talk about choices that they can make in their life, or how do I react to when you get mad? Could you do this, or could you do this? How you respond. Also, it's inspiration for me because it gives me a sense of purpose. My life goes beyond just retirement. I've stopped working. I can still affect and do something that is completely special. And it inspires me every day I can't wait to get to school. I love it. And when I'm early, I try to be there early because I love to be there. And I'm waiting outside for my student. I'm ready to go. But also in the letter N is nurture. You provide probably some of the best nurture that they may have in their whole day. Hard to believe, a 6.5-hour school day is a lot of nurturing from the teacher and from other teachers there. But it's not like one-on-one for 30 minutes. That in itself is amazing. And finally, for the letter G in mentoring is just go and be a mentor. Don't wait. There are children that are hungry for your attention, and they will love you even no matter what you wear, what your hair looks like. It doesn't matter, and they just love spending time with you. So the last thing I would leave you with is really to go and be a mentor. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Sign me up. I want to be a mentor too.
All right.
That was wonderful. So I get to go over the policies and procedures now. This is an on-campus, school-based activity only. All mentoring is to be done on the school campus in a designated area. Your school mentor coordinator that you're going to be getting in touch with will show you around campus and let you know how it's going to look on that campus. It's only during school hours. No contact can be made with students off campus at any time. Mentors must maintain confidentiality. No discussion or information about a student or mentee should be shared. If you're concerned for the student's safety for any reason at all, we are all mandatory reporters. The legislation is signed now that requires any individual that suspects that a child has been abused by any person to report that to the Florida Abuse Hotline. You can Google Florida Abuse Hotline to make a report, or just see any administrator, see any counselor on the school campus that you are mentoring at, and they'll be able to help you get the phone number or get you to the right website. The last thing I need to share is that mentors must be good role models with good character, respectful, and display appropriate behavior. You'll also need to know your limitations. You can't change a student's home life, but please understand that you being present week after week for a student is a gift of quality time, just like Chris talked about, that will stay with your child, the youth that you're spending time with. It'll stay with them for a lifetime. So what happens when you're matched with a mentee? You'll come to school for the first time to meet that mentee, and I know a lot of mentors are super nervous about that. So Chris is going to help us about meeting our mentor or our mentee for the first time.
Well, the first time I think is most exciting. Sometimes you're not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but the teacher usually specifies a particular student for you. So the first thing I do is I know that they're probably as nervous as I am. And so I try to make them feel comfortable. I introduce myself and tell them a little bit about me and why I'm there, because I want to be with them. And then I'll ask them just in conversation, well, tell me about you. Tell me about your family. And some students, you'll just know when to ask push for a little more information, and some it just streams right out. They want to tell you everything. Usually, the first time, you can make arrangements to have lunch with them and sit beside them, or you can meet them in the lunchroom and just have a little talk. You can pick them up at the classroom and walk somewhere and read a story to them. It really is up to you. I like to at least have that initial conversation of talking about who they are, who I am, and then kind of what we're going to do. That I'm going to meet them every week and I'm going to be there. And I'm going to make sure that I have communication with the teacher, that she'll know that this is their time, we've worked out, and this is the day that I'm coming on. If I can't make it, I always try to call the office and at least tell them, or email the teacher. They'll give you their email at school. Email them to tell them I'm going to either be late or I can't make it this week. If you could tell my student I'll make it another day or next week. And that just happens. I mean, that's just life circumstances that come up. And I think just as in the classroom, whatever happens there is real. It's the same with your life too. And I think that first time when you walk them back to class, I always try to say, now remember, I'm going to be back next week on this day and at this time, and you'll always see me here. I'll be waiting for you here, unless the teacher lets you know that I can't make it. And they're ready. I mean, the next week, they're there, and you are standing there, and they run up to you. It depends on the age of the student, of course, but they are just so glad to have someone different to talk to. And I really love to talk to them about setting some goals, things that they want to work on this year. What are you good at? What do you need a little help in? Oftentimes the teacher will give you a student who is a little bit academically behind, and so your job is to kind of catch them up. But you can do it in a lot of fun ways. And I've seen mentors take card games when they're learning with kindergartners, which is more, which is less, is 9 or 6. There's just so many things you can do. One gentleman I love, Mr. Robert, he played games, math games with them in the library. And he would just pull simple games off the internet, whether it's adding and subtracting, and print it out, and they'd play a little game together. And it's so much fun. You can make learning so much more individualized and also so much more fun, than what they normally get sometimes in the classroom. And also, the qualifications that you need for a mentor are very simple. 3 of them. You just have to be dependable. That's all. And be a good role model and be consistent. If you're going out of town, as I said before, let the teacher know, reschedule, and tell her when you're coming back. And if it's a 2-week stay or you're going away on a vacation, it's okay. They do too. They do it on the student holidays. And they'll let you know when the student holidays are and when not for you to come, and that's because school is closed. So what your aim is to work with them on gradual progress through the year. At first, it'll be a little slow, but as you pick up speed, as you go through the year, by December, you and your student are really in tune with one another, and you're going to start to see some progress. It's gradual. It's very gradual. But by the end, you're going to know that they have come from A to B a long way, and you've assisted the teacher in helping that happen. But, the most important thing is just to be real. Be an active listener to them, and just work with them. If I'm in the cafeteria and I'm eating with them, I'll say, we had to use a napkin because that'd be a good thing to kind of wipe your shirt off or make sure you don't get something on your lap. Just some simple table manners. If we're walking on the hallway and they're trying to scream at another student or yell and say, hey, I'll say, that teacher's trying to get her class lined up. Let's be real quiet. Just to give them some suggestions about what's appropriate, what's not. So really, you're talking about from social skills all the way to academic skills. But you are a VIP because you're real and you're just who you are, and that's all. And when you open your heart to them, it's like they will just spill their heart out to you. It may take some time at first because they're nervous, but afterwards, once you start a few weeks in, you absolutely are going to love it. And I would definitely say my last thing is go be a mentor, go, because it is a lot of fun, and you hugely touch the future of these children.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
That was wonderful. I think it warms my heart to see the mentors in action at my school, and I know that you'll make a difference at your school. It might be near your workplace. It might be near where you live. You don't have to be retired. You could be working in a flexible situation where you could come during school hours. I know several people that are real estate agents. I know someone that is a professor at the college, and she always works out every year. She's mentored the same child for 5 years, so you can follow that child up through school as they progress and see the growth that Chris was talking about too. So that's wonderful. So I want you to remember that you're gonna be the highlight of that student's week. Our fabulous mentor program handbook, which is right here, contains policies and procedures that I went over already today, as well as tips for mentoring. Many of you might say, I have no experience being a teacher. Well, this handbook is full of ideas for helping you set goals, for reading strategies, for how to be an active listener, problem-solving skills, ways to praise a child, and two of my favorite for the first few times that you meet a child would be Let's Get Acquainted. And there's another sheet, conversation starters, so you could ask questions. It's also important, I know that you'll be an active listener, but it's also important for students to learn how to be an active listener themselves. So you could share a little bit about you. You could see what you have in common with your mentee also. So if you don't have a copy of this handbook, then you'll ask your mentor coordinator at the school that you're interested in mentoring at. Well, you did it. You made it through this whole video. Congratulations. You've completed your online mentor training, and you'll need to call the school that you're interested in becoming a mentor at, and you'll just ask them for the mentor coordinator. Ask for either a meeting. The school counselor might be able to point you in the right direction too. So you're ready to get started making a difference in a child's life. So thank you.